Uh, we finally figured out how to do this on the PlayStation, so uh, easier to get guests, easier to do this without worrying about time. But for the purpose of this, we're gonna just do what we can, and whatever works in a half hour or so, or if longer, it depends. But anyway, SML SMFL Weekend Review Show has officially hit the PlayStation. And my partner here is Wade. Wade, you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So, um, I guess we're going to start this out by saying a little something in reference to Rob, who has been a long time player in the league. Uh, he
Using the
unfortunately,
Jets.
yeah, he's been the Jets. He's been a few teams, but he's the Jets this year, and he's had some issues. So I'm going to confirm that he's probably going to have to stop playing. It's sad to hear because he likes playing Madden, but sometimes life takes turns, and got to get up the sticks at some point.
When
Um,
when I mentioned when I test messaged him on text message to see about setting up our game, he informed me that he's gonna have to be quitting. Uh, so I want to say thanks, Rob, for playing all these years, and I hope that he can play in the future. But at this time, I, you know, lots happened in his life, and things that are there's more important things that have to be prioritized. So anyhow,
yeah, he has to
thanks to
get
Rob
better.
for playing, um, and good luck, whatever the future brings.
Yeah, ditto here. I second that. Yeah, he's been a diehard guy. The only man I know that's played this game and don't care about losing every season. Just the love of the game, playing it. That's what he cares about. So hopefully, at some point he gets back to this and he can uh, play. And if not, um, you know, good luck down the road for him. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. That being said, interesting turnaround this Madden, huh? Okay, the first season we had a lot of teams that are not in the forefront were in the forefront. Um, Unfortunately, um, the first season went down for the count when the uh, the what do you call it? The
Salary cap.
salary cap got turned on or turned off rather. So we had to do a whole new uh, season, a whole new franchise. Give the commissioners credit on the last broadcast where they tried to mimic everything and give guys what they needed. Actually, did more than what they said they were going to do, and as a result, we have this league. And the standings for now, going into week 12, um, you want to take the AFC or the NFC?
I'll take the NFC.
Go for it.
Okay, so now we got the Lions at 9-1, Cardinals at 9-2, the Giants 8-3, and we have the Oilers, who used to be the Panthers, 7-3, the Saints 7-3, Rams 8-4. So he was undefeated last time, if I recall. So he's back down to normal now. Falcons 5-5, the Cowboys 5-5, Bears 5-6, Buccaneers 5-6, Packers 4-6, 49ers 4-7, Commanders 3-7, Eagles 2-8, and Vikings 2-8. And that
Interesting.
rings up the NFC.
Yeah, we'll get back to some of these teams that were kind of like powerhouses prior to this. Um, so for the AFC, we got the Chiefs at 8-3, Ravens at 7-3, Dolphins at 7-3, the Bills at 7-3. The Browns at 7-4. Texans 7-4. Colts 6-4. Raiders are 6-6. The Titans are 5-6. The Broncos are 5-6. Bengals 4-6. Jaguars 4-7. Patriots 4-7. Steelers 3-7. And the Chargers are a whopping 3-9. Lost 8 in a row there. I don't know what's going on with him, but okay, we'll get to that. Um, at this point, I guess you could take the NFC North. Uh oh.
NFC North looks like the Lions at 9-1. We expected that to happen. Bears 5-6. That one we're waiting for Sean to take over and dominate at least the rest of his games. Packers and Vikings. There's some work to be done. NFC South. We got the Oilers 7-3 in front of the division with the Saints, and Falcons 5-5, Buccaneers 5-6. It's looking like it's going to be a two-team race in that. Maybe possibly the Falcons. Let's see. Then we got the NFC East. The Giants are ahead there. Cowboys second place. Maybe give him a run for division leading the division lead. NFC West. Cardinals and Rams are gonna battle that one out. Be Wonder who's gonna win out of those two. Uh, but right now the Cardinals is in the lead.
Yeah, well, let's stay here for a second. So you said it earlier. The Rams, they came in and pretty much was wiping the table with everybody at one point, and now, um, like you said, it's leveled out. He's still above 500 at 8-4. Cardinals, on the other hand, have won 6 in a row. So now I'm not sure if that's we could take a look to see if that was CPU games or he just pretty much. Let's take a look at the schedule here. Team schedule. Cards. He rattled off. Well, all of these was solid wins. I mean, he beat the Colts 21-17. He beat the 49ers 31-21. He beat the Oilers 38-27, and he beat the Rams 42-28. Then he beat the 49ers twice, 23-20, and then he beat the so he actually played in games out and won six, 1, 2, 3, yeah, six in a row. So he's holding his own over there in that division. Um,
I'm I'm wondering. The Seahawks last season was right up there in the lead. In the chase for the lead. What happened to the Seahawks? Because that's a night and day difference between what was happening last year and this year.
um, I don't really have an answer for you. He was playing strong, and then all of a sudden, it kind of changed on him. But we'll get to his scenario in a second. So we were at the AFC. Where was we? The AFC South, right? No, where was we
No,
at?
we were
NFC.
NFC West.
NFC West. All right, so let's take the East. So now, uh, uh, Giants once again, 8-3. They're on top. Just lost their last one. Oddly enough, you were talking about the Bears. Sean, when he feels compelled or his schedule allows, will play his games, and he came in with the Giants being 7-2. I think it was, or was it 8-2? Let me see. The Giants had they were rolling through for a minute, and I think they were 7-2. Let's see, 7-2 Giants. Yeah, So they lost to the Bears, which was their last one. So they were actually 8-2, and I guess the Bears decided to say, "Hey, let me see what this guy's got." And he played C-Mel, and I mean, C-Mel held his own, but it was a little late. Um, yeah, actually, Sean, with the Bears came in on the second half. He didn't do much. Well, actually, C-Mel couldn't do nothing, get nothing going in the first half, and pretty much when he figured it out, it was too late. But yeah, that's just the Bears for you. If he decided to play, uh, if he decided not decided, let me take that back. If he was able to play all his games, it might be a different outlook here for his team. But if we go back to the standings and see, the Giants odds are I still pick them to win the division just because as I said the Giants the owner is pretty solid in what he does, and he's got a better quarterback now. He's not using Daniel Jones. Um, does the Cowboys give him a couple of losses or gets a couple of wins? We'll see about that with Doc. Um, Commanders is pretty much out of it, as well as the Eagles. Um, if we go to the NFC South, so now you got the Oilers, who's I believe DJ Prime. Um, he's on a three-game win streak alone. The Saints is uh, got 7-3, so Torrey's doing what he does. He's staying in there, but he's got to win here. And then you got the Falcons at 5-5 and the Bucks at 5-6. At this part of the game, it's only a two game swing, but um, it's hard, man. You get behind in 2 3 games, it's hard to make them up. Depend, how your schedule goes. Um, like you said with the
And
Lions, of course we knew, Rich will. He has a 9 game streak, but I think he had a sim win his last game. Actually, he didn't play it. The other guy couldn't play. But anyway, he's up 9-1. Um, and he won the bowl, or he lost in the bowl. Did he win that bowl? No, he lost in the bowl against the Ravens. So he's trying to make a comeback, and he'll probably be there again or close to it if somebody doesn't take him out before that. You got the Bears at 5-6. Again, he could have a better record. The Packers at 4-6, and the lonely Vikings at 2-8. Now that surprised me with Smack. He was rolling, and I don't know if it's because the teams were different when we came into this franchise, but then you know uh, when they strengthened the draft and did a CPU draft, it gave teams X factor and uh, different players, superstars. Some teams got one or two, some didn't get any, but you know, it helped them out. But the gameplay, I always say the gameplay. If you're not playing too good, don't matter how many X Factor superstars you got, you're not going to win.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so
I agree.
I think at this point, he's playing to win or he's playing for draft picks, one or the other. Well, we'll find out because he's on a 4 game skid right now. So I don't know. For those who don't know, the next draft, the draft that we're having, is still um, I guess you'd say a made-up draft. It doesn't have they weren't able to put the actual uh, draft with all the upcoming college players that in real life in. They missed. He was able, well, Tim wasn't able to get it in, but he'll get it in for next season. So this one will have animated players and so on.
Right,
Um,
right.
if we take the AFC North, 7-3 Ravens, 7-4 Browns, 4-6 Bengals, and a 3-7 Steelers. So the thing is, the Browns, who's um,
Peace out.
yeah, that's Brenton. Brenton's played with us for years and decided he would get in, uh, and he's got his Browns, and he's making a run for it. You know, and he's gonna give the Ravens. He beat the Ravens in one game already, so I don't know. Their next, they got to play another one, I think. Um, but he seems to have a handle on the Browns, so you never know what's gonna go there. Um,
Yeah, that's a tight race there.
yeah, um, we'll see what happens. You got the AFC South now. You got me over here at Texans at 7-4. I had a tough game last night. I just got to give Crush props, man. He played a well played game. There's nothing I can say. I was on the way out. I was on the way out of that game, and I managed to get some good plays in. I think to beat his defense on a few things and scored with a couple of seconds left in the game to give me the win. But that was a hard fought game. I came in this chat later on and told Tim, man, unbelievable gameplay. But it's a great game. So I'm 7-4, and you got the Colts at 6-4. Colts is on a 4-game win streak, and you got Tim with the Titans at 5-6, and the Jaguars at 4-7. And oddly enough, in my division, I have to play all three of these guys. I think I got to play the Colts once, the Jaguars twice. I think I got one game with the Titans. So that's 4 games there that's either going to swing because I don't think I got any division wins. So I'm just trying to stay ahead of them. And that's the key to stay ahead because if we tie up, I got to basically win these games coming up in my division in order to even if I happen to. But I'm on a roll, so I'm not. I'm just trying to stay ahead of them. So that's what's going on in my division. Um, and you got the AFC East. Now, oddly enough, these Dolphins are 7-3. So now I believe they made the playoffs last season.
That's right. They won the division last time.
Right. And you were in the background and I was like, "Man, what's going on with you? You got the Bills and the quarterback and the players and you were like, I just got
I
to get
was
used to the team, you
I was
know."
throwing a lot of picks. I tell you what, I had more picks than touchdowns, and I've been able to turn that around.
Yeah, apparently
So
at 7
that's
and
the
3.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. So you got a tight race going on over there.
And I got my defense going too because now I think I'm second in run defense. I don't know who's first, but I'm second
Probably
in run
me.
defense.
I haven't even we can go
It's
check
like
that out, but yeah.
62 yards per game. It's 62, 63 somewhere in that. But
Yeah.
I got my run defense like I like it.
That's a good thing. But so, with 6, 7 games left, we'll see where we end up. I think it's week 13. Maybe the next advance is going to start showing who's um, could be
Yeah.
making the playoffs. Um,
Well, it shows you when you go to the standings. One of the things I like about this year is it actually put your standing number right there on the first page of the home page. So
right,
if you go to if you right stick over to the standings, like for me, it shows that I'm fifth ranked in the division or in the AFC, and he's third. Miami's third ranked, New England 13th, and the Jets 16th. But it
right,
shows you about where you're going to be seated in the AFC or NFC.
right. I'm fourth, and uh, some people are
The Colts is rounding out the last spot right now,
yeah,
and the
um,
Raiders are right behind them.
yeah. So we're gonna see what happens with that. Um, uh,
That's one of the things that I really like about this year versus last year's Madden is, they made a lot of user interface improvements on this for us franchise guys,
well, yeah, they
and
had to make up for their
that's some of
blunder.
the best. Yeah, and also it tells you the team or the PSA name underneath the team name for everybody too. I think that was another cool improvement that they did.
Yeah, yeah, let you know who's who. Yeah, little things, little nuances they added, but yeah. Um, so I mean, at this point, let's go. we can stay on this board and AFC East. I mean, I can make my prediction on this one. Um, I'm not gonna. I'm not. Let me write this down so I don't eat crow later on. If I'm wrong. At least I got it. So at this point, you and the Dolphins are 7-3. I can't see the, the Patriots challenging any of you guys. I don't think you're gonna lose that fast. So for me, I'm gonna pick you to win the division. But at this point, it could go either way, and depending on how you play, um,
Yeah, we gotta play the last week of the season
right.
uh, to decide it. We didn't mention the AFC West. I think we should throw that in real quick.
Um,
I think we kind of skipped over them
okay.
with the Chiefs,
You,
Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers.
all right. Go back to them.
Yeah, the Chiefs 8-3, Raiders 6-6, um, and the Broncos 5-6. It looks like it's going to be a three-person race, depending on how uh, um, what's I can't, you just played them. I can't.
Crush.
Yeah, Crush. That's the word I was looking for. Anyway, yeah, depending on how Crush competes, looks like the Chargers have. I don't know why the Chargers is upside down when last year they were a playoff team. Don't know what, like
Yeah, I
on an
don't.
8 game losing streak right now.
Yeah, I don't understand either, but that's where he's at. And it's odd because I'll play him every so often, and he plays me hard. So I'm trying to figure out what is he doing. I mean, we can go look at his stats and see. Odds are he's probably throwing some picks here and there that aren't necessary, but it happens. As far as it depends. I mean, the Broncos are right there. They needed that win yesterday, this week, to put him tied up or one up. He would have been 6-5. The Raiders are 6-6, um, and he would be 2 games out from first place. 3 to be in first, 2 to tie first. So barring the Chiefs lose, but at this point, I'm going to stick with the Chiefs uh, to win a division.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick for that. It was he won the division last season, so
Yeah,
and he's a strong player.
I mean, if you go and you look at the Broncos' schedule, I mean, or just the schedule of those guys in general, and if we go with the Chiefs first to see where they're at, uh, who's left on they got to play the Commanders, the Jaguars, then they got the Broncos, the Colts, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. So you got to play Doc, it's the Cowboys. You got to play Big D, it's the Eagles. Then you got the Colts in my division. Um, True Squad, I believe. It was a True Squad. No, those stacks. I'm sorry. Um, so the next they got the Commanders. So if they take the Commanders, they're going to be 9-3. It's kind of hard to see. Let me see what these Broncos, what they're. Um, when you look at the Broncos, their last games now, they got a division game with the Raiders that they're going to need to win. Then they got the Colts. Then they got the Chiefs. Then they got the Titans. Then they got the Jets, and then they got the Reds. So they really need to, out of these next 1, 2, 3, 4 games, Raiders, Colts, Chiefs, Titans, they got to win at least 3 of them. And I'll give them the Jets because that's a forced win, and I'll give them the Commanders to beat. So if you give them those two, they gotta get at least out of these 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, they gotta get at least 3. They can't afford to lose more than one more game. To me, to stay in it. So we'll see what happens with that division. But right now, I'll take the Chiefs as uh, winning that division. I mean, we could revisit back at the end, right before the playoffs, week 18, and see how they go. Um, we take a look at excuse me. I said Buffalo and the Chiefs. I guess for I'm gonna. Last year I said the Colts was gonna take the division, and they actually did, even though the Jaguars had a chance, but they kind of faltered at the end, and they had a chance if they had won to win the division, but they didn't make it there. But now I'm gonna take myself to win the division simply because I feel like I got this game rolling. I'm understanding it a lot better with my team. Um, so we can go. Well, you didn't say who you think AFC South. You're still with me, right? Wait, you're muted if you're okay. Wait, I can't hear you, buddy. All right, well I'll continue on. So yeah, we got the Chiefs. So in the NFC North, of course we already said the Lions. Lions probably going to win this
What?
one.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't know what happened there, but it's
I
okay.
had it power off and power on. I wasn't muted, but
Yeah.
anyhow, let's go.
So the Lions 9-1 and the Bears at 5-6. Safe to say, I guess the Lions is gonna take the division over there in the NFC North. Uh, Once again, it's a toss up between the Oilers and the Saints. Uh, depends. Uh, but I'm gonna roll with the Saints just because I think Torrey is a dark horse as always. Um,
Yeah, he's
to
a
win
strong
that
player.
division. Yeah, yeah. Or DJ Prime is not bad. He's getting used to it, but we'll see what happens with that. The East, once again, I gotta stay with the Giants. He's been playing uh, top notch football right now. In the NFC West, you got the Cardinals and Rams. Well, if we take a look at the Cardinals, see what kind of schedule they got. That's going to be a close one. Cardinals and Rams. Cardinals and Rams. So if we go to Cardinals first, what does he got? Who's he have left? He's got the Titans, Seahawks, Bucks, Falcons, Rams, Saints. Okay, so Saints, Rams, Buccaneers. Two squads been losing, so we can't really, unless he plays a spoiler and gets a lucky win. Um, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Added a six, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got four tough games to play, so we'll see. One of them's a division game with the Rams in Week 17. Um, it all starts with the Titans. The Titans needs to get them a win if you can. If not, then it's Seahawks and Bucks. So once he gets down to the Falcons and Rams and the Saints, uh, hey, I'm doing a I should have made it private, but I didn't. Podcast here, buddy. Um, just let us finish this. Oh, thank you. He got out. I forgot to make it private. Oops. Let me see if I can do that. Let me close it. All right. My fault, fellas, but it's all good. First one. Yeah. So that's their, that's their, that's his schedule. The Cardinals. So he's got to win. He's got four tough ones. He's got two gimmies, I think, but he's got four tough ones.
I'll give it to the Rams. They are scoring a lot of points, but they're also giving up a lot. Not nearly as many as they're scoring, but I mean, 450 points so far for the
Mm.
Rams. That's a lot of points. I don't see anyone near.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't see anyone near that. I don't believe.
Right.
Chiefs
So,
with 424. Yeah,
um, the Chiefs, right?
yeah,
No, they their schedule is the Commanders, the Jaguars, the Broncos, the Colts, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. So they definitely have a lighter schedule strength wise to me. Um, Eagles and Cowboys, they're 50-50 players. I mean, you never know what you get out of Doc. He can beat you if you sleep on him. Uh, the Eagles, Big D, I give him 50-50 also. Right now, the Colts are fighting to stay in there, so he's he's not going to be a pushover, I don't believe. And of course, the Broncos, he needs to get a win. So he's going to be playing hard. He's got his game down pat. It was very hard to stop him, but he's building that team up great. And the Jaguars, Biggs is just you know doing what Biggs does. If he can get a win, he'll get the win. If it works in his favor, but all depends. And the Commanders. So to me, the Chiefs have a lighter schedule. They don't have. There's not four teams here that they can't beat. Would give them a hard time to beat. I think out of the four,
right.
you might say the Colts and the Broncos might be the two hardest players to beat at it. So they just basically, he's got two hard games as opposed to the Cardinals four. But we'll see. Um, so I think that uh, does that. I think that rounds it out. When we got 3-6. Um, no, so there's got to be. We did the Lions, Oilers, Saints, Giants, Cards. Yeah, we said out of the Ravens and the Ravens won the Super Bowl. Browns is tough. Um, I say they both make it to the playoffs, but who wins the division? Um, well, let's give it. I'm going to give it to the Browns this time because they're a tough player when they want to be, and I say the Ravens will probably get in as a wild card.
Yeah,
And,
it's hard to pick against the Ravens being the
well,
Super Bowl winner and all that.
yeah, it is, but I'm going to go with the underdog. um, and I think that's 8, so that covers us. I said Buffalo, Texans, Saints, Browns, Chiefs, Lions, Giants, and Ravens get in. So who did we get to? That's to North, South, East, West. I got everybody, I guess. AFC, Ravens, Browns, Texans, Bills, West, Chiefs. Yeah. All right. So I mean, we covered that. So that's who I'm predicting to make the playoffs. Uh, we'll see. We can go into top performers if you want. See what's going on over here. Or let's see. So right now you have the Rams with the highest passing yards at 4271. You got the Saints right behind them, 350, 335.44, and the Lions with 35.03. Rushing yards, you got the Raiders with 1,223, and then you got the Cardinals with 1124, and then you got Houston at 971. Receiving yards, once again, Rams up there with P. Nakua. How do you say his name? Nakua, right?
Puka Nakua.
Puka Nakua, yes. He has 1,470, 15 touchdowns on 73 receptions. So he's been throwing that ball to him. KC has Worthy, the speedster, with 54, 12, 54 receptions, 1,266 yards. Then you got Jay Robbins over there at the Saints with 37. So they round out the top three. 37 receptions, 1205. On the defensive side, you got the Lions with A. Hutchinson with 12 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. You got the Ravens and Manabuke with 11 sacks and 6 tackles for loss, and you have Micah Parsons in Dallas with 10 sacks, 15 tackles for loss, and then you have these Rams, man, they're doing stuff. They've been up in the top. It's another one. Interceptions. They got the strong safety with 10 interceptions and 8 deflections, and you got the Buffalo. Look at you. Buffalo's free safety has 9 interceptions with 6 deflections, and then you got Isaiah Simmons on the Giants with 9 and 3. Then we go down to the tackles, and we got New Jersey. CPU has more tackles than anybody. Look at this here. 74 tackles, Quentin Williams, and 63 solos, along with C. Mosley, middle linebacker, with 64.51. And then you got the Bears, oddly enough, with 65 tackles and 50 solo. So CPU's been doing a whole lot of tackling more than anybody else. That's funny.
Yeah.
So we can go to stats and awards and go and look at the weekly awards from the beginning. Something we wasn't doing before. See whose players have been making names for themselves. So I'll take week 1 through 6, I guess. You can have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, all right.
All right. So in the NFC, on the offensive side, you had the Cardinals in week 1. The halfback had 20 carries and 216 rushing yards. 5 rushing TDs, 1 reception, 17 reception yards, 17.0 reception average. Then on the NFC defensive side, you had the Bucks with A. Winfield Jr., free safety, with 7 tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 TD. On the AFC offense, you had C. Reese, tight end for the Ravens, at 11 receptions, 274 yards, 5 recorded TDs in that game. Boy, he was hitting him. Tight end. Then you had on the defense, AFC, you had the Raiders with N. Hobbs, a cornerback, with 4 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 2 TDs. In week 2, we had the Oilers with Jay Brooks, a halfback, with 26 carries for 220 yards, 8.5 rushing average with 5 TDs. And you had on the defense on the NFC side was the Bears, was T. Edwards, right outside linebacker, 8 tackles, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble return, 1 touchdown. Then you had on the AFC offense, Jay Waddle, wide receiver, 5 receptions, 219 yards, 4 receptions for touchdowns. And then you
That was
had,
against me, I want to say.
oh, okay. Then you had the AFC defense, D. Greenlaw, Right outside linebacker for the Raiders had 8 tackles, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. And we get over here to week 3. Look at this here. Matthew Stafford for the LA
Right.
Rams, 24 of 39 for 448 passing yards, 6 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Well, he was throwing all over the place. 448 yards. Wow. And NFC defense, um, M. Hooker, free safety for the Cowboys, 4 tackles, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. On the AFC offensive side, you had the Ravens with Lamar Jackson was 22 of 29 for 334, 3 passing TDs, 7 carries, 22 rushing yards. And then you had defense on the AFC side was L. Scott, a free safety for 5 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 TDs for the Dolphins. Week 4, Matthew Stafford once again. Wow. Came right back the next week and threw for 426 yards. Ain't that something? 20 of 34 for 426. 5 passing TDs, 1 interception, 1 sack, 1 carry for 8 yards. NFC defense. Vikings and Blackman, cornerback, 3 tackles, 1 sack, 2 interceptions, 1 TD. AFC offense. You had D. May for the Pats, quarterback, 23 of 36 for 555. Who's playing defense? Nobody? 555 passing yards, 6 passing touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 3 sacks, 1 carry. I can't believe somebody he played he did that to. It got to be a
Let
CPU
me run
game.
and tell you real quick.
Yeah, because that these guys, unless somebody whoever they're playing just have no type of defense. It's a week 4 game.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you had the AFC defense. T. Moheg, free safety, 9 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 TD.
That would be a loss to the Chiefs by a field goal, 59-56.
Wow. Oh boy.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Mm-mm-mm. 555 yards passing. I thought the Raiders, I mean the Rams was doing something. And he was 23 of 36.
Uh,
Mm. All right. Week 5. You got D. Ritter, NFC offense for the Saints. He went 18 of 22 for 299, 5 passing touchdowns, 1 carry, 8 rushing yards. Then on the defense, you had C. Hardison, cornerback for the 49ers, 7 tackles, 1 interception, 1 TD. And here we go with the Ravens offense. Player of the week was Jackson. 14 of 22 for 329 passing yards, 5 passing TDs, 1 interception, 3 sacks, 3 carries, 24 rushing yards. AFC defense was D. Jackson, cornerback for the Steelers. 4 tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 TD. And last for me, once again, Rams has been all up in here with these players of the week, man. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver, had 6 receptions, 195 receiving yards, 32 reception yards, average 4 TDs. NFC defense, you had for the Falcons, Jay Bates, the third, free safety, 5 tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 TD. AFC offense, Kansas City, Mr. Worthy over here, wide receiver, 8 receptions, 291 receiving yards, 36.4 reception average, 4 reception TDs, and then AFC defense, I have a guy in here, Kay Lassiter, cornerback, had 6 tackles and 2 interceptions.
all right, so for week 7, NFC offense, we had Desmond Ritter, quarterback, 18 for 25, 454 yards, 5 pass touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 sacks, 5 carries, 41 rushing yards, 1 rushing TDs. Oh, and 2 fumbles. Are we supposed to mention the bad stuff?
It's part of their they still
Yeah.
made player of the week. 2 fumbles didn't
Okay.
have any.
Okay, and then we have Diggs for the Cowboys, 7 tackles and 2 interceptions. AFC offense is Mahomes, I think everybody knows who he is. 17 for 19, 345, 5 passing touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack, 1 carry for 4 yards. And then you got the Dolphins on defense. Jalen Ramsey, cornerback, 1 tackle, 2 picks, and 2 touchdowns. Okay, then the next week, week 8, Desmond Ritter, quarterback, 20 for 25, 483 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, 1 sack, 2 carries, 4 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. Isaiah Simmons on defense for the NFC with the Giants. Middle linebacker, 4 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown. AFC offenses, Etienne Jr., 13 carries, 250 rushing yards, 19-yard average, 4 rushing touchdowns, 1 receiving 8-yard touchdown, and 8.0 receiving average. On defense, we have Desmond Ward, cornerback, 7 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. Week 9, we have Jared Goff, 24 for 30, 466 yards, 6 passing touchdowns, and 1 pick and 1 sack. Defense for the NFC, we have D. Johnson for the Oilers, right outside linebacker, 8 tackles, 1 pick, 1 touchdown. And then for AFC, we have Richardson and the Colts, 12 for 17, 298, 5 passing touchdowns, 2 sacks, 2 carries with -2 yards. And we have on defense for the Broncos, T. Anderson, 8 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. Week 10, Jalen Daniels. Uh, Jalen Daniels is his name, right?
Jaden or
Anyhow,
Jalen? Yeah, Jalen, I think. But I just Jay Daniels
yeah, Jay
keeps it
Daniels,
simple.
21 for 33, 259 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 1 sack, 4 carries, 24 yards rushing. On defense, we have Khalil Mack, 7 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and two fumble recoveries. Okay, so and then we have on offense Derek May, 28 of 37, 301 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns for the Patriots, and 3 sacks with 5 carries and 21 rushing yards. And then on defense, we have Channing Tindall, middle linebacker, 10 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 interceptions. Week 11, NFC offense, Jay Robbins, wide receiver, 8 receptions for 204 yards, 25 average, and 3 touchdowns. On defense, Z. McCollum, cornerback, 8 tackles, 1 interception, 1 TD. On offense for the Broncos, we have Bo Nix, 15 to 19, 400 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, 2 sacks. On defense, we have the Colts with Buckner, and 5 tackles with 4 sacks. Week that's our last week right there,
Yeah,
week
because
11.
we're in week 12 now, so
Yep,
that rounds out the um,
yep.
players of the week. Um, I guess we can stop there, and I think on the next broadcast we'll try to get somebody in here to talk with, uh, see their thoughts on the league and stuff. Now I figured this out here, how to do this. Um, Maybe multiple people as long as it's productive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's it's not really worth doing it. So, you know what? We're gonna stop it here, and this is where we're at this point. It's week 12. I gave my predictions. Wade is agreeing with some of them, if not all of them. I had the people to win the divisions was once again Buffalo, Chiefs, Texans, Lions, Saints, Giants, Browns, Ravens.
Does it change your pick on me that I gotta play the Ravens coming up?
No, I already made my because you know it seems like you got a handle on the team. So I mean, unless you fold, I don't see where you can't win. I mean, the Browns, Breton beat him, so he's beatable. It's not
Oh
that he
yeah.
can't. He's got 3 losses, so you can lose. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
So my predictions stay where they are. We'll see where we
All
end
right.
up with it. Um, but I guess at this time, I guess that's it for now. Um, we'll come back to this in week 18 and see what the deal is. This week's real quick games of the week. Some of them were played already, I think. Uh, no, actually, none of them were played. Wow. So we got the Ravens versus Steelers. We got the Colts versus the Seahawks. We got the Bears versus the Lions. That ought to be a good one if they play. Not that the other ones aren't. And you got the Eagles and Cowboys, and the Buccaneers and Patriots. So that's where we're at. There's actually 5 games of the week this week. So we'll see what happens when these guys play, if they play. I guess for that, I'll just say that's it for now. And we don't have any music. So see you next time.
Yep. See you. See you next time.
All right, buddy.